Hi, friends. I want to take a little time with you today to talk about the Leo full moon that's coming up on Sunday, February 1st, because this one feels really important, not just astrologically, but emotionally, collectively, and personally. This one might be a little bit longer because there are several aspects of this I'd like to address. So, we're in a moment where the astrology is really mirroring what so many of us are seeing and feeling. On the one hand, in our bodies and hearts and minds, and on the other hand, what we're seeing and experiencing in the outside world. This full moon in Leo, this is the sign that's all about heart, about courage, and about living from a place of authenticity rather than fear. And yet, the ruler of this full moon, the sun, is an Aquarius, surrounded by a lot of intensity. Right away, with this opposition of the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Leo, there's this tension between the personal and the collective, between who we are, what's happening around us, between the powers that be and the people, which is all Pluto and Aquarius. And this will be around for the next 20 years. So we need to buckle up because that one's going to be in play for the long haul. But honestly, it all makes sense because there are a lot of people, myself included, that are looking around and the world feels very unfamiliar. It feels loud, it feels chaotic, unstable, scary, especially as we continue to witness assaults on humanity, dignity, and basic rights of humans, both in the US and globally. But here's the good news. Here's some good news. Aquarius is a sign of revolution, of freedom, liberation, and awakening. It challenges the status quo. It breaks us out of old systems and structures that limit us, limit our growth and our lives. And right now, the sun is sitting right with Mars and Pluto in Aquarius, which is a potent and intense combination. And this energy is mirroring this upheaval, this anger that you're seeing, and yes, the crazy chaos. But it can also bring fierce clarity. Mars and Pluto together expose power dynamics. They reveal where there's control, domination, and misuse of authority. And they awaken the instinct to push back, to protect what matters, and to fight for freedom and justice. And so if you're feeling emotionally charged, restless, and deeply protective of yourself, your values, your loved ones, your neighbors, your communities, you're not alone. I've been watching a lot of videos that echo my own and the collective frustration, anger, and rage about current events, especially those that have cost lives of innocent people. And this is seriously firing up everyone who cares about their fellow human family, as it should. But here's where the Leo full moon really comes in. Leo reminds us that how we show up matters. This full moon isn't asking us to react with rage or fear. It's asking us to lead from the heart, to fight from the heart, to stay connected to our inner authority rather than giving our power away to the chaos outside us. And the most important things about this full moon chart is that Uranus retrograde in Taurus is the final dispositor, meaning that all the planetary roads lead back to Uranus. And remember, Uranus is about that awakening. It's about breakthrough, liberation. And in Taurus, this means it's happening literally on the ground. And it's sending shock waves through the body, through our sense of safety, through our value systems, through our sense of personal power and self-worth. So for many people, this full moon may bring up like sudden realizations or harsh truths that we can't ignore anymore. You might be seeing more clearly things like where you've been holding back, where you've been tolerating what no longer aligns with you, where you've been dimming yourself to keep the peace, or on a collective scale where you've been checked out, operating on autopilot, or need to check in to the reality around you to see what's happening so you can decide how you best want to respond. Because each of us has a duty to respond if we want to say in our future. And so you may feel a call towards something you want to stand for, stand up for, or stand with, a cause, a community, a way of living or working that feels more aligned with your values and your heart. And just as all of this is coming into focus, Neptune has just entered Aries, sitting at the very first 0 degrees, that world point. And this is significant, like Civil War significant, since that's the last time humanity experienced this transit. Neptune dissolves illusion, and Aries burns away illusions and initiates action. So the fog begins to burn off and lift now. What felt confusing and numbing or overwhelming, it's starting to become much clearer, and it'll probably happen more and more quickly. This is a collective wake-up call, at least for those who are still somewhat or totally asleep at the wheel, because no one is going to be able to escape this energy. And then on February 13th, Saturn leaves Pisces and enters Aries as well. This is where a whole new chapter begins. So Saturn is about reclaiming authority from the inside out. Not authority imposed from the outside, not power over others, but self-trust, personal leadership, responsibility rooted in integrity and courage. And with Venus in mutual reception with Uranus, she's highlighted under this full moon. So I want to name something that feels really important to me right now: the rise of feminine leadership. Leadership that is relational, that's embodied, leadership that values care and presence and wisdom, not domination and force. The world doesn't need any more aggression. It needs balance. It needs people who can hold complexity without losing their humanity. And as I was preparing my thoughts for this full moon, I realized this moment feels really aligned with the work I've been doing, supporting women in like stepping into their personal power, but especially most recently in my work around healing the archetypal father wound. Through this journey of my own, I really found looking at my Saturn story and the father wound through astrology so enlightening and empowering. That's what prompted me to start exploring this with clients and even in my latest series. So if you haven't seen any of that, feel free to go back and listen. But even as I began feeling things kind of shift within my psyche, I did something that completely shifted me on an energetic soul level and liberated me from so much I was carrying. I have understood this concept of like ancestral healing, and I know in some ways I've done this in part of my life, but never at this level and never this profoundly in my body. And what I did was I started working with my friend Tara Kinden, who does biofield tuning and like somatic and frequency clearing and healing work. She's also a medical astrologer and integrates mediumship into her sessions. Yeah. Tara's embodiment and biofield tuning work has been truly transformational for me on a personal level. My sessions with her created deep shifts in my nervous system and my sense of safety and my ability to trust myself in ways that really feel both grounding and empowering. And through our work and our mutual support, we realized that we together can offer something really special. So now I'm excited that we're going to be collaborating. As Saturn enters Aries on February 13th, we're going to be offering a live workshop. It's called Saturn and Aries, Reclaiming Authority from the Inside Out. We'll be kind of weaving the astrology of Saturn and Aries through the lens of the healing the father wound archetype and embodiment practices with Tara. And she's going to lead us through a very special sound and biofield tuning session to help us integrate this transition, not just mentally, but physically and emotionally as well. This is a real initiation point, and I'm super excited to be doing this with her in this moment. And if you've been feeling the call to step into a new relationship with what Tara calls leadership, self-trust, and inner authority, we'd love to have you join us. So stay tuned for more on that. And if you want to learn more and grab your seat right away, you can go to nurturingastrology.com forward slash Saturn in Aries workshop. And as we move toward this Leo full moon, I invite you to slow down. I know you can't get outside if you're on the East Coast, but take a few breaths, sit quietly, tune into your heart, listen to your body. Notice where courage wants to emerge and what you feel fired up about creating, leading, or stepping into or up for now. And just a reminder, the Aquarius new moon we have on February 17th is our first eclipse of the year, which will be squaring Uranus. So there will be definitely likely, unexpected shakeups or surprises that will inform your new personal direction and our collective future too. But for now, as we navigate these chaotically awakening times under this Leo full moon, keep this in your heart. Take good care of your body, your mind, your heart, your soul. I'm sending so much love to you wherever you are as you move through this powerful astrological and collective moment. Take care, friends. Talk soon.